Then you have all the in-between stuff that came out years and years ago, like Clone Wars.
Yeah, like Clone Wars is a proper TV show,
right.
you know, with like 22 episodes.
Imagine taking all that away still. Like, okay, there are so many unanswered questions in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clowns that...
Clowns?
Yes, I said that intentionally because the movie, and fight me about this, it's not a good movie, and...
Wait, which one? Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones?
Oh, yes. But specifically Attack of the Clones is worse.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Phantom Menace is worse.
No, Attack of the Clones
Objectively
is
speaking,
terrible. Attack of the Clones
dude,
is
Phantom Menace
100% reliant on these logical leaps from episode 1 and 2. And they don't ever explain how these things are supposed to make sense. So Padme is exactly the same freaking age, basically, even though somehow Hayden Christensen, Hayden Christensen himself out of that little boy in the span of, whatever indeterminate number of years is that. Enough for Ewan McGregor to beard out and get wise. Fine.
Enough for Ian McDermott also to age.
Yeah, so... But
she's the only person from Naboo who doesn't.
And so now we have to believe that she's chill with hanging out with this kid that she knows who's super creepy on her the entire time. The entire way that they framed the love story in that movie is possibly the worst love writing I can think of. I can't think of it. I mean, maybe if Aang and Katara had hooked up in episode 1, that would have been worse somehow.
Ooh,
but it's so cringy. It spawned how many memes? It's rough and coarse and irritating and it gets everywhere. Dude,
everywhere.
The writing is just F tier.
Why am I laughing?
Okay, so we got... All right,
George Lucas was not...
Just that relegates it to the Razzie status. Now, the rest of it is so hyper-saturated with CGI and colors that lend nothing to the story in a battle sequence that doesn't make any sense, that ultimately just leads to the one line, begun the Clone Wars have, oh god, it's such a bad movie.
You been hitting the cactus juice again?
Yeah.
Okay, rant over.
And it's also... yeah, and it's also because when you watch that scene in the arena when all the Jedi just get basically murdered really easily by droids, unless you also have the knowledge that the Jedi of this era they're duelists amongst themselves. That's how they're good swordsmen fighting each other, but they're absolutely shit at deflecting blasters.
And yet, by
actual combat.
But you see them fighting these armies of droids and just cutting through them like butter in other scenes. So it's not inconsistent with that, which is really annoying.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you are right. If you don't know a buttload
and then
of
Anakin
knowledge,
and Obi-Wan's friendship there, we needed to see some kind of growth between them. Instead, we're just expected to accept the fact that they're best buds. Yes, they are learner and master, sort of, but not really at this point. They're still it's angsty teen who thinks he knows more than he does, with his too young mentor who is too strict by far all of a sudden, who also have these sort of moments where they just obviously call back to past adventures that we don't know anything about.
I haven't felt you this tense since we fell into that nest of Gundars.
Well, I hate it
you
when
fell
he
into
does
that viper's nest. I came and rescued you.
Yeah. Or when they walk into the club and they're just wait, and he just Jedi mind tricks them all. Jedi business, go about your business or whatever. You don't want to sell me death sticks. It's like, what the hell are you shoehorning into this? This is terrible. What are the Jedi? Some weird cop force? Jedi business, go about your business. What?
Well, they sort of are.
But that is not how I thought of them as sort of monks who are recluses and that's what screwed them over. Not I don't know, weird cops who go around nightclubs bewitching people and...
You gotta be fucking kidding.
and stuff like that, man. It just looks so hokey and so terrible. And of course the acting of it was terrible as well. You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. Yeah. I want to go home and rethink my life.
Now it's an anti-drug movie too. Congratulations, Lucas.
You're gonna die.
It's a kid movie. The first one is a kid's movie. How do I know that? Because it's got a cartoon Jar Jar that that speaks funny and steps in poop.
Yeah.
And it involves children. The only thing that's not childlike about it is the fact that it sort of revolves around politics as a central
And
premise
slavery.
and slavery. So
For the
that's
Phantom Menace.
odd. And then by the time you get to the end of Dooku's life, you've gone full on adult themes, so you can't pretend that it's a children's show anymore, a movie anymore. So it kind of moves from a kids movie all the way on to very dark thematically within the span of the 3 movies. So that's kind of confusing from an audience perspective as well. If the trilogy doesn't know what it is through it, it's as bad as the sequel trilogy.
Right.
And we know how that is.
No, in my mind.
But if it doesn't,
everyone,
if the
comment
if
down
the
right now and
trilogy
tell my
doesn't
brother
know-
why he's wrong. Everyone, comment down right now and tell my brother why he's
If the
wrong. because
trilogy
he is
doesn't know what it
absolutely
is from 1, 2, and 3, then it is on
The trilogy,
par with the
1, 2, and 3
disorganization
knows
and
what it
confusion
is. No.
of 4, 5,
No.
and 5,
The
6,
trilogy,
and 7, or 7,
the
7, 8,
trilogy,
9, jeez.
no, 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry, no. 1, 2, and 3 absolutely knows what it wants to be.
But it
4,
starts
5,
out
and
as a
6
children's
doesn't know what it
movie
wants
and
to be
moves
because it
to
decides to
cutting
add
people's heads
decides to
off.
freaking add incest and shit like that. 7, 8, and 9. That's the one I will agree that has absolutely no idea what it wants to do.
They really
and
screwed
was
that up
basic-
too, because there's no thematic direction from directors or from showrunners,
Yeah.
so to speak, or from...
Yeah, I mean, like Kathleen Kennedy's fucking idea of like, oh, I want 3
J.J.
movies
Abrams.
directed by 3 different people, so they each can have their
This
stamp
is
on
not
the
some
movie.
like
you
Quentin
fucking kidding
Tarantino
me?
auteur project. This is Star Wars trilogy. Like, what, do you want to go to make Lord of the Rings and be like, you know what would have made it better is if we had a different director for each book. That would have been so cool. Like, no,
Oh my God,
that's
that'd
something
been
you do as a big experimental thing, not for this huge trilogy that's supposed to be a cornerstone of the revitalization of this project for decades to come. This is going to be the next Marvel extended universe for Disney. Instead, you shat on it.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
did.